When you're shopping for a gun, there are a lot of names you would immediately recognize. Glock, Beretta, Smith & Wesson, etc. And to be fair, they make really good firearms, and they deserve the recognition. However, firearms are just overrated. They're popular and perform well, but not as well as some people claim them to be. But this video is not about any of those guns. Instead, we'll take a look at some underrated guns. These hidden gems deserve to be in the spotlight, but somehow did not. Their performance is not lackluster by any means, so it's rather bizarre that not a lot of people know about them. I have here a list of 5 hidden gems that you must check out. The Stair M9A2MF. At a glance, the M9A2MF looks like your stereotypical 9mm polymer frame striker-fired pistols. But if you take a closer look, you start to notice some neat features. For one, the M9A2MF comes with triangular sights, which is a bit unorthodox and unpopular. But if you spend a bit of time behind them, things just start to click, and you start to become much more accurate. On top of this, you get an excellent trigger, a very low bore axis, and high perch. You might need to change your grip, which can throw off your aim a bit, but once you get used to the gun, you start to realize that it's very fast and accurate. Overall, it's a versatile and reliable piece to own and fun to shoot. The Phoenix Redback Ultralight. The Redback Ultralight is essentially a CZ75 copy made by Phoenix, a Swiss company. What is notable about this gun is its features, quality, fit, and finish. First, let's talk about your options. While the gun is single-double action, you can get one that is single action only. Not to mention, you can get it in a steel frame, aluminum frame, or even polymer frame if you want. You can also choose how heavy the gun should be, from 28 to 52 ounces. That way, you can cater the feel of the recoil. Other than the superb accuracy that you will definitely notice when firing this thing, Phoenix also pays close attention to detail, which is a major reason why the gun made the list. You get the checkering on the frame for your thumb to better control the recoil, a massive beaver tail so you can grip the gun really high up, and the beautiful undercut. Also, since the gun is compact and low profile, when you slap on an optic on the gun, you do not have much real estate on the slide to rack it. For this reason, Phoenix went all in with the serration on the front so you can rack the slide easily. The safety is ambidextrous. This goes to show that Phoenix really thought about everything when designing this gun. Now, what is the downside of this beautifully made firearm? The price. It is going to be expensive, but you would be hard-pressed to find a gun that can reliably hit a 6-inch plate at 100 yards. Yes, it is an expensive firearm, but considering the accuracy, reliability, features, and aesthetics, I would say that it's worth every penny. That said, the price does hold it back, and chances are that it'll remain obscure to a lot of people because of it. The Caltech P50. At a glance, you're forgiven for thinking that the P50 would look right at home in a Star Wars movie. Other than its futuristic look, it is a 5.7 by 28mm pistol. Although one would argue that the P50 is more of a carbine than a pistol because of its form factor. If the caliber sounds familiar, then it's probably because it's the same rounds used in the FN57, the PS90, and the P90. The best part? You get a massive magazine capacity of 50 rounds, so you can go hammer away with it at the range. The gun does not come with an arm brace, but I highly recommend you get one. The threaded barrel coupled with the arm brace should help with accuracy. Other than that, despite the P50 weighing in at around 3 pounds, the gun is very sturdy and reliable. The cartridge itself may not be as popular as the 9mm, but at least the recoil is very light, which is very useful for those who are sensitive to recoil and beginners alike. The Chiappa Triple Threat. You have a few options when it comes to the dimension of this shotgun, including the gauge and barrel length. As the name suggests, a triple threat is a shotgun with 3 barrels. What's interesting is that all 3 barrels are tied to a single trigger. Don't worry, you're not going to dislocate your shoulder by firing 12-gauge shells from all 3 barrels at once. What is fascinating about this one trigger design is only apparent when you look at the double-barreled shotguns. Many of those come with 2 triggers, each tied to each barrel. In a panic situation, you might end up pulling the wrong trigger and not realize it until it's too late. The triple threat simplifies the system. You have 3 barrels, 2 sit side by side and another with the sight on top. The right barrel fires first, then left, then top. If you let loose 1 or 2 shells, if you open the breech, the mechanism will reset and you start from the right barrel again. Now, why would you want this gun? Well, other than the fact that it has beautiful wooden furniture, there are a couple of reasons why you should grab this. Maybe you cannot get a pump-action shotgun or a semi-automatic shotgun in your area, and you want something that has 3 shells. To be fair, in a home defense situation, you hardly need to use all 3 of them, but it is always better to have and not need them. Not to mention, the triple threat has a very simple and reliable system. The Beretta PX4 Storm. There are 2 variants here, compact and full size. Unfortunately, the PX4 Storm is a double single action, which is something that not a lot of people enjoy. Beginners might not enjoy this action at all, in fact. This is because you need to get comfortable with 2 trigger pulls on the same gun. You have the double action trigger pull, which is rather long and can throw off your aim, and then the much shorter and crisp single action trigger pull once the action is cycled. The single action would stay on until you have emptied your magazine, of which you have 15 rounds to work with. The compact variant is, as expected, rather small. To give you an idea, it's a bit smaller than the Glock 19. What makes the PX4 Storm different from other similar pistols is the fact that you have some flexibility. For instance, if you carry it with you when you are out and about, you can opt for the safer and longer double-action trigger pull, so that the trigger can be safely manipulated as you move about without the risk of the gun going off by accident. When it is time to fire, you can just switch the single action to get that crisp and short trigger pull that is better than the trigger on the Glock 19. Not to mention, the PX4 Storm features a rotating barrel design. You'll see the barrel rotate when you rack the slide slowly. So when firing, the slide would go back and the barrel would rotate as the round leaves the barrel. What this does is that it reduces recoil a fair bit. It's something that you have to experience it to believe. You might assume that having more moving parts would translate into more reliability problems. That's usually the case, but the PX4 Storm is an exception. It and many other guns with the same system are known to be very light on recoil and reliable. Now, if you want to get the most out of your PX4 Storm, consider checking out Langdon Tactical. They can pimp out your PX4 Storm to your heart's desire. To be fair, the gun itself is very good on its own, but you will notice the difference when you give it an upgrade. And there you have it, folks. These are my top 5 picks for underrated firearms. Now, I understand that there are a lot more firearms that are in the same boat, but we would be here all day if we have to go over every single one of them. That said, if you happen to own one of those hidden gems, tell us about your experience in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.